we're writing equations from a table day 2. So it's very similar to what you guys were just doing. Okay? It's very similar to what we're doing, but look at your table. What's different?
It's missing numbers.
It's missing numbers in the table. You're right. Okay, I've got some blank squares here. Okay? Before I can deal with those blank squares, I got to go find my function. Now, on the last paper, we said, what's a function?
It's the equation.
Equation. Function is a fancy word for equation. So write that down. Find the constant rate of change. What is that? M. Constant rate of change is M. My initial value where I start is my B. Good. Okay. Now, I need to take this table, find my M and my B, and be able to write an equation from it. Once I do that, then I can go find the missing values from the table. Now, real quick. You cannot put, when we go to the calculator in just a second and put our numbers, you can't do this box right here because you don't know the X and the Y. You can't do this box either because you don't know the X and the Y. You can only input data into the list and spreadsheets for the X's and the Y's that you know both numbers of. Okay? So this one, you have to skip. And this one, you have to skip. And then at the end, we'll figure out those missing numbers. But when I plug the table in, I can't put those numbers in yet. Okay? Does everybody understand?
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay, so we'll do this together. Home button. New document. No, we never want to save. And remember, this is a list of numbers, or if you know what a spreadsheet looks like, this looks like a spreadsheet. So number 4. I got to label my X and my Y. And then I got to input the numbers. But remember, you can only input the number if you have the X and the Y. So I'm going to do 6, 12, 24. I can't do 30 because I don't know the Y, but I can do 42. Then I'm going to do 0, 2, 6. Skip the blank box, 12, but I can't do 28 because I don't know the X. Pick that up. Okay, now, make sure your blue square is on a blank box. It's not got a number in it. So we're going to do menu 413. X list X, Y list Y. Hit enter twice. Okay, my M is what?
0.333.
0.333333333. Yes, okay. If you don't know that 0.333333333 is 1/3, you need to. What's 0.6666666? 2/3, okay? Those are two fractions that you should know off the top of your head. 1/3 is 0.33333 forever. And 2/3 is 0.6666666 forever. Okay? So what's my fraction right now? Or what's my M? 1/3.
1/3.
That's something that you should just know. Okay? My initial value, my B, is -2. Okay. Now we want to write an equation, a function. So y equals mx plus b. So y equals, what's my m? 1/3 x, and then my b is -2. Okay.
Please stop saying that.
Can you please leave me alone?
Shh. Stop. Okay, find the missing values in the table. Okay, here we go. Let's start with this box right here. Okay, what information? Remember this X and the Y goes together. So I know the X, but I don't know the Y. So what could I do with 30 to go find the Y?
Divide by
Replace it for X.
Replace it where the X is. 30 is an X, so I'm going to go put 30 where the x is. So y equals 1/3, and then instead of writing x, I'm going to put 30 minus 2. Then y is going to equal whatever this is in the calculator. So to go to the fastest way to get to a calculator is Control Dock. Good. So 1/3 times 30 minus 2 gives me 8. So when x is 30, y is 8. So I'm going to go write that in the box. Okay, now look at this one. What information is it giving me now? The y. Do I know the x? Are you writing this with me? Okay, I don't know the x, so where's 28 going to go?
And replace it for x.
Is 28 representing x?
Oh, it's the y.
This is the y. So where's 28 going to go? In the y spot. So now it's going to be 28 equals 1/3 x minus 2. Okay, we're going to do it by hand first because we have to show our work. So draw your line. I need to know what x equals. What do I get rid of?
2.
The minus 2. How do I get rid of it?
Add 2.
Add 2 to each side. Can I combine 28 and 2?
Yes.
Yeah, they're like terms. What is 28 and 2?
30.
30 equals 1/3 x. The 2's canceled. How do I get rid of this 1/3?
Divided by 1/3.
Divide by 1/3. X equals, okay, then in my calculator, I'm going to do 30 divided by 1/3. Oops. And I get 90. So x equals 90.
9 goals.
Let's see, does that make sense?
Yes.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, it goes along in the rhythm good. What about the 90?
Yes.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay? If you get crazy negative 90, that wouldn't make sense. Okay? Okay. Number 2. Here we go. Constant rate of change. What's that mean?
It's the M.
My slope. Good. My initial value, what is that?
B.
B. Function means
EQ. Equation.
equation. It's a fancy word for equation. Okay, remember, you can only plug them in if you know the x and the y. So I have to skip this one. I have to skip this one and this one. Okay? Make sure you're plugging this in with me. Like I said, the more you text, the more you get, you don't have to look at it, okay? The more repetition you get, that's what we want. So new document, do this with me. Do I need to call you out and then tell your parents to watch the notes video? Okay. Number 4, list and spreadsheets. Label your columns, X and Y. All right, only enter in the ones that you know. So -1, -5, and -11. 13, 19, 28. All right, menu 413. Menu 413. X list X, Y list Y, and double enter.
CE.
Okay. Enter in the information that we know. What's my M?
It is
Negative 1.5.
-1.5. Good. What's my B?
11.5.
Thank you. And my equation is y equals mx plus b. So y equals my m, negative 1.5x, and my b is plus 11.5. Okay, now I want to know the missing values in the table. Okay, so the first one that I know is negative 3, and it represents what? Negative 3 is the x. So where am I going to put negative 3? Where the x is. So y equals negative 1.5. Instead of writing x, I'm going to put negative 3 plus 11.5. Okay, so then I'm going to plug that in. Control dog. Negative 1.5 times negative 3 plus 11.5 gives you 16. So when x is negative 3, y is 16. Okay, then the next missing number, 22, is what? The y. So where am I going to plug 22 in? Y spot. Okay, so 22 equals negative 1.5x plus 11.5. Okay, now I got to solve this. Why didn't I have to solve the first one?
Because the y was missing.
The y is by itself already, so I don't have to solve for it. The next one, the x is in the middle of the problem. It's not by itself. So I have to solve for x. So what number do I move first? Minus 11.5 on each side. What's 22 minus 11.5?
10.5.
10.
Oh, I did divide. 10.5 equals negative 1.5x. Now what? Divide by the number in front of x, which is negative 1.5. So 10.5 divided by negative 1.5 gives me x equals negative 7. So when y is 22, x is negative 7. Okay, last one. It gives me negative 9, which represents what?
X.
The x. So when I plug in negative 9, it's going to go where the x is. Y equals negative 1.5 times negative 9 plus 11.5. Y is already by itself. Okay, so I don't need to solve it. I'm just going to plug it in my calculator exactly how it looks. So negative 1.5 times negative 9 plus 11.5. 25. Y equals 25. So when x is negative 9, y is 25. Is that reasonable in the table?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Okay, good. Any questions? Y'all ready to do it on your own?
Yeah.
Okay.